Welcome to a new Clash of the Horns. The Rams victorious against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know I've missed the last couple of, weeks when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks game. Really good game. The Packers game was awesome too. But let's be honest, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Rams game has been the best game so far this season. One of the most high-scoring games in the NFL, in NFL history. And the Rams just keep making more history. 10-1. And basically scoring on command, and the defense making stops when they have to make the stops. We all know Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the game right now. I will put him in the fearsome foursome category. That's how dominant Aaron Donald has been. And with the Rams, it's crazy because their defense allows a lot of big plays. I mean, Sam Shields is getting burnt out there, and LaMarcus Joyner. Trust me, Tyreek Hill had his day. I think he had about 200 plus yards today. But the way that the defensive line really dominated, and that's what they did. The Rams' defensive line was dominant in this whole game. The only way that the Kansas City Chiefs were scoring points was just bombing out in the air and hoping, praying something worked. And that's exactly what happened, because Sam Shields got burned. With the Rams defensive line, you have Samson Ebukam taking a leap forward this season. And when we first drafted Samson Ebukam, I even said, if you guys want to go back to my old videos, I said he is a physical beast. He's a monster. I think he runs a 4.5 40 as an edge rusher, and he's just built like a tank. But it's funny because when you get to know the guy, when you see him in person, he's kind of nerdy, very quiet. But when he's out in the football field, man, he's a beast. And I like how he's been developing under Wade Phillips. He was a defensive end / outside edge rusher, more of a defensive end in college, and they liked what they saw in him. And he had the best game out of everybody, and that's including Aaron Donald. Even though Aaron Donald made a lot of disruptive plays, I think Samson Ebukam made the biggest imprint on the defense because he got that interception, very good reaction, awareness, and overall toughness from Samson Ebukam, and he got that touchdown, much needed. 2 touchdowns, just being aware and being at the right place at the right time, and boom, the Rams are up. This is straight up easy mode on Madden. This is cheat code. This is not supposed to happen in the NFL, and there was defense. That's the crazy thing about this game. Both teams, amazing offenses, really good offenses, great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, amazing quarterback as well this season. Jared Goff, the Jared the GOAT, is out there beasting and feasting. But then you have the defenses, and they had a strip sack for a touchdown on Jared Goff. But the Rams had Aaron Donald create a fumble. Samson takes it down to the to the house, and then Ebukam gets an interception himself, takes it to the house. There was defensive plays all day. The Rams were getting after Patrick Mahomes. I think they had about 5 sacks on him, and then Jared Goff got sacked like 5 times. This was basically who's going to stop the other team from scoring the touchdown and settle for a field goal, and that's what I think the Rams basically did with getting 2 interceptions with LaMarcus Joyner and Marcus Peters, who ended up getting interception against his former team. This had everything, and this was, to me, an epic battle.
An epic battle of epic proportions from both the Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't know how to explain it. I have to go watch the game again. It's possibly my favorite game of all season. And out of all the wins that we got, this was the most satisfying. But now, if we want to get into the controversial aspect of this, I've noticed a lot of salty Chiefs fans are bringing up referees. The Rams got flagged for all kinds of stuff. Holding, blocks on the back, special teams, false starts. The same treatment. But the thing is, in this game, I've noticed that the referees were calling holds from our defensive linemen that were getting held. And that's how it started. A lot of false starts, very sloppy play from the secondary of the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of holding, hands in the face, all kinds of stuff, man. So I think this officiating, I think it was both good and bad for both teams. There were times where, the Rams were holding or false start, or like I said, special teams penalties and stuff like that. Then you have the same thing with Troy Hill got flagged for some stupid lowering his head thing. But how are you going to tackle someone? what are you going to do as a defensive player? You can't hug the guy down, but that's what they're trying to make this. The league is starting to get soft in that aspect where defensive players can't play defense. And then obviously when you're holding receivers, you're going to get called on it if you have a good officiating crew, and that's what happened. I don't know how you can play a game without holding Brandon Cooks, holding Robert Woods, holding my dude Josh Reynolds, who made a big imprint in this game, and it's showing to be what I thought he was when like I said, I made the 2017 draft class. I made a video about which players I thought were going to be the most influential that season with Sean McVay's first year, and I had Josh Reynolds I think at 3 or 4, right next to Cooper Kupp. I'd say Cooper Kupp was going to be our best rookie, and sure enough he was. But Josh Reynolds comes in for Cooper Kupp, makes an imprint, does amazing in this game. And I mean, you can't ask for more. The Rams simply had a great draft. I think Rams Talk was talking about that as well. I commented a little bit about that on my Twitter, that the Rams draft class, they're coming up and they're developing very fast and providing a lot of assistance to this team and getting these wins. I mean, Gerald Everett out there getting a touchdown for, I think it was like 30 to 40 yards for the game winner. Reynolds puts the Rams up. Samsung does what he does. Cooper Kupp was doing amazing until he got injured. Probably going to have the best year of his career this season until his injury. I can't wait to see more about the rest of this draft class, man. John Johnson out there playing defense. This is a really good draft class, and I have nothing else to say other than good job, Leslie. He's done a great job. Every time he goes to the Reese's Bowl, I'm noticing that he's getting these diamonds, these great players that no one knows about, but he's out there doing this. You know, he's studying the game, and he knows what he's doing, man. Just give him freedom and let him pick his players. But yeah, I think this was possibly one of the best games I've seen the Rams play in a long time. The only thing is they're letting way too many points, but I mean, they're scoring points on defense, and I know that the run defense isn't pretty still. There's still a problem with that. The secondary is still banged up, obviously, with my dude Aqib Talib is about to come back. Hopefully by after Thanksgiving, they said maybe right at the Lions game he'll be fully healed, and then we'll see what this defense is all about. I think that's the only excuse for the secondary, but still the run defense has to get better. One of the leaders in tackles is Corey Littleton, so I mean, he's doing his job, but it's just the defense as a whole is not on the same page to me. I think I think when Wade Phillips, he's just trying to get after the quarterback, so the run defense is a secondary priority. And I think getting after the quarterback is the main priority when it comes to Wade Phillips' scheme. So maybe that might be it. Might be the scheme that Wade Phillips is doing, or it can be the Rams are just not executing the way they should be executing. But in my opinion, the Rams are doing it fantastic. There's no reason why I should be afraid. I do think that we're going to have a couple of games that are going to be really tough. For sure, the divisional games, you never know what might happen with those, any upsets. But I think the Rams end up going 14-2, 15-1 from here on out. Because I said the only games that I was kind of afraid of are the Saints game, the Vikings game, the Packers game, the Bears, and the Eagles. But the Eagles are really bad right now. They're just not playing like they used to be. I think a lot of them just gave up on the season already. That Super Bowl hangover is legit, man. But I think after this Bears game, we have it pretty smooth until the playoffs. And, you know, credit to you Rams fans that went to this game against the Chiefs. You guys made us look so damn good. I'm so proud of you guys. You guys that went to this game. I was at the Vikings game, and I thought that game was amazing as well, but nowhere near this Chiefs game, man. You guys literally got a Super Bowl type of game, and who knows, these two teams might meet up. You know, the Chiefs could end up upsetting the Patriots and going to the Super Bowl, and the Rams end up duking it out with the Saints. And I still think the Rams are going to play the Saints in Los Angeles. Somehow, some way, I think either the Panthers, the Falcons, or one of the remaining teams is going to get the upper hand, maybe an upset against the Saints. And that one game that they lose could be the reason why the Rams get home field advantage in the playoffs if they ever meet. So I will be going to those playoff games. It doesn't matter if it's a divisional round or the NFC Championship game. I will be at those games, and I will give you guys really good footage when I'm at those games. But until then, I'm not going to waste any money on the remaining schedule. I feel like it's going to be a waste. The Rams will be in the playoffs, and I will be going to those games. But this Chiefs game, I mean, I still think the Chiefs are a great team. Do not get me wrong. They were getting after Jared Goff. They made things happen there. Linebackers are pretty good. Defensive line was all over the place. And the Rams did the best that they could. The offensive line looked sluggish, but at other times it looked very good. And it was a battle, man. This was like a fist fight in the street. And both guys were just going at it. No strategy. There was no strategy. Get in the end zone, try to stop them. That's the only strategy that I noticed from both teams. And hey, the Rams ended up winning because they got 2 interceptions late in the game, and it sealed the win for the Rams. But until next time, you guys, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment. And man, doesn't it feel good to be 10-1? We went from being one of the worst teams in the last decade to being 10-1 and being a Super Bowl contender this season. And now the Rams are getting more love in the media, and especially in Los Angeles. It is no doubt the Rams own Los Angeles. And like I said, this is home, man. So get used to it. Until next time, you guys, go Rams. Who's home?